of you kind chaps has suggested doing an update on our soil, but more specifically under our palm trees. So I've cherry picked one of my best ones. I'm not going to show you one of the worst ones. And as far as the growth is going on the farm, very well now. I'd like to see them in another couple of months after we've had some sustained rain, because it's still very start and stop at the moment. But yeah, you wanted to have a look what's going on, and as regards changes to the soil underneath the palm areas. I wouldn't strictly say it's soil. It's a combination of manures, biochar, and different various mulches. So let's have a look and I'll talk you through it. Growth wise, it's probably twice the height of me now, although I am a short arse. So let's have a look in here. I haven't had a look, so it will be a surprise to me. Right, so on the top, this was probably about a 12-inch top dressing of shredded corn plants that we got from over the road for the goats. So we shredded them up, fed them to the goats, and of course you get a lot of waste when you feed goats. So whatever fell on the floor, we just swept it up along with the old black jelly beans and put that as a top mulch. Underneath that was manure, which is now, I don't know what you call it, dust manure. That went on top of water hyacinth out of our little drainage canal there, and that had gone over a rough mulch of just vegetation that was nearby that I trimmed down, and that went over the top of biochar, which was inoculated with the manure and, what would you call it, manure and urine. Oh, that's quite nice to see, some shallow roots from the palms. It's great that it can go down. So yeah, these are all palm roots. I don't really want to disturb them too much. As far as coming out the radius, I'd like to be able to come out as far as the drip line, but the problem is it's getting enough mulch, or having the time to get enough mulch to make it thick enough. And you can see, although I had come out as far as the drip line, it just gets burnt off so quickly. So until I can do it again, it's going to remain about 3 foot inside the drip line. Ideally I'd like to come right out here, even further than the outside of the branches, or is it throngs? But overall health, very happy with it. So we've had over a year now, well over a year without any spraying, and the last thing I did spray was a mixture of dish soap with cooking oil and baking soda. I think I've sprayed that twice in the last year, but it's looking buff. So happy. They were never looking this healthy, even when I was spraying them with God knows what. Excellent. You can see there's a little bit of damage on the ends, but that's just as the goats, as they're walking back into the goat house on the evening, they just take a sneaky bite off the end. And again, that's why I don't really cut off these lower ones sticking out. They're my sacrificial ones. Otherwise, if they were taking the ones higher up, then they're causing a little bit more damage than I would like on the plants. So yeah, that's so good. I don't mind Yabby having the odd mouthful. Of course, they're not all that good. I've got 4 that are bigger than that, and I'll show you some that I wouldn't say is the average size, but just behind the camera. So for this one, and this is still a good foot and a half taller than me. The mulch isn't the same on every single plant, it's just what I got available at the time, and how knackered I am, how far I want to walk with all the stuff, because it does have to be wheelbarrowed. But again, I can start to see the shallow roots in there. Yeah. Next to go on will be a layer of hyacinth. So it's nice to, well, I think it's nice to keep on alternating it. a bit further out, I dare say it's hard stuff. Yeah, so there's still a long way to go, but in essence I suppose we've only been doing it like this a year, coming up a year and a half, and considering the drought that we had and still no proper rainy season yet, I'm very happy with this. You can see a little bit of damage there. I don't know whether that's because it started growing and then the rain stopped again, pretty sharpish. I'm not sure. This beautiful specimen here, this has had the most manure put on it. I just wanted to see what effect it would have on it, and I did about 5 wheelbarrows of goat muck. It was a proper mountain all the way around it, and a few days after I'd put it all on there, I hadn't top dressed it with anything else. One of Toon's older brothers came here, and he does grow a lot of these palms, and he said, "Leigh, you put too much on there, it's gonna kill your plant or burn your plant." So I'm pretty sure it's not going to, with it being goat manure, the cold manure, and it didn't. No ill effects. If anything, I think it's the best one we've got, and it gets less water than the one that I was showing you over there. So I think more more is good. Slim, 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 out, out, go on, go on, go on, out, go on. She's no drama, that one, but what happens is the others will see her going away from the herd and then they'll want to follow. It tends to be a little bit hit and miss with the goats when they eat it. Certainly after the rains, if we let them out here, then yeah, they'll have a good feed on it. If one of them's had an upset stomach, they like to have those dead leaves, or the ends of the dead leaves, as I don't know, I suppose it's eating something to absorb the acid in the stomach, although we do give them baking soda. But yeah, there's very little damage, but we do have to keep an eye on them. But the goats aren't out on this area every single day. It's about once every 10 days or so we'll let them out here for a good feed, or if the weather's closing in and we need to get them full quickly, we'll let them in there. I mean, just behind the camera I can see Haribo, one of our most beautiful goats. She's hiding behind there. She's been struggling the last couple of days. We checked her over and she'd gone a little bit anemic, and checked her feces and her worm load was a little bit high, so she's had the strong medicine last night, so that knocks her up that knocks the goats up for a day or two. So I don't mind her having a nibble on that branch if that's what her body's telling her that she needs. But yeah, if there's 3 or 4 of them and together and one starts biting a palm, that the others will start joining in. But touch wood, it's minimal damage, and it's damage that we're willing to accept for the benefits of letting the goats in here now and again. Slim, can we have a word, love? Don't you get bad habits, Yabby. Come on. All right, Sherbet. Slim, last chance. Come on. So currently, still out of 50 palms, we've only had 1 die, and that was from yours truly trimming the head off it. Everything else okay. We had 1 bad attack by, I'm not sure if it's a beetle or the moth, but the one that burrows in from the top, and the new growth was folding over every time we had a new branch coming up at the top. I can't remember, it's thong or thong coming out the top. So yeah, I had to spray that several times, but it's fine, it's bounced back now. So we've got 49, touch wood, 49 healthy palms, 100% organic, no tilling, no spraying, no burning, and they're better now than they've ever been. So brilliant. I'd like to get a little bit more biochar on them, not right down the base of them, but in that larger radius, because as those shallow roots start to spread out, I'd like to improve the soil all the way around it. So yeah, I'm still waiting for my world record attempt at doing the the biggest biochar cone pit in the world. I will do it. I just need a boost of energy to dig it. For something that I was quite concerned with for some time, certainly when we went first of all went organic, and then with the 6 months of drought, for them to pull through and to look like this, you can see now that they're becoming more established. The growth just gets better and better as we go along. We've had the first lot of flowers off them, and yeah, I think as long as we can keep the feed and the mulch going around them, every time it rains they're getting fed through that top layer. I think it's looking rosy. One of our success stories on the farm. But I've said before, even if by some miracle we didn't get the palm nuts to sell for the oil, they're such a beautiful tree. Certainly when they get a fair few meters out the ground, that it's going to look fantastic. Right, you two, come on, not pissing about now. Bye, 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 bye. Good. As you know, over the last year or so, we introduced the Toon naughty stick system for controlling our goat herd. I've moved it on one level now because we've got more and more goats. They become more and more spread out, so you'd be running around all the time trying to scare them with the naughty stick. So I've now got what I call the spear of destiny. So if a goat is round the base of a palm, and I think, or it appears that they're eating the palm, I launch the spear of destiny. If they're not eating it, it never hits them.